Hi, my name is Stacy Maurier, and I'm the founding lawyer of Estate Connection Law Office in St. Albert, Alberta. I'm going to talk today about a problem that our office often sees, and it's where people put many of their children on as executors. I know I've told my clients this is a bad idea, and their kids agree with me after the fact when the person's no longer around. But if you're a parent and you can't choose which child to have as your executor, I'm going to point you in the direction of some things that should be included in your will to prevent friction in the future. Number one, if you are going to appoint all your children to be in your documents, you want to make sure you put a tiebreaker in the documents. Well, what is that? If you have two children and both of them want to do opposite things, who's going to determine what actually occurs? If we don't have this in the documents, the only way we can fix it is to go to court. And not only is that time consuming, it's costly, and it's not a great way to leave a legacy of love. For that reason, if you only have a couple people appointed as your executor, we want to make sure that there's a means for us to decide what should happen if they both want to do different things. Examples of that can be picking names out of a hat, picking a third party that will come in and mediate or make the decision, or alternatively, maybe we just say the oldest child can actually determine what ultimately happens. Whatever means you want to include in the documents, we want to make sure that it's put in there. A little thought today can save a lot of trouble and money in the future. Number two, if you are going to be appointing your children, all of your children, to be executors, we want to make sure that there's a means for them to distribute your personal property. Now, I know that really at the end of the day, it's likely that your children do not want a lot of your personal property. But in some circumstances, we see families fight over this. I once had an estate where the individual had a gold medal from the Olympics, and everyone in the family wanted a piece of it. So how did we determine who would actually get that item at the end of the day? Well, in that case, we actually rotated through the family. So on odd years, this child got the item, and in even years, this child got the item. Was it perfect? No. And I mean, at the end of the day, we had to determine who would get it if both children weren't around. But it gave us a means of getting through that crisis. So if you have things that you anticipate everyone want, make sure you put a roadmap in your documents. Number three, if you want to appoint all your children to be your executor, I'm going to beg you from the bottom of my heart to pre-plan your funeral. Where these fights often start is at the funeral home. Your children are grieving, they haven't ate, they haven't slept, and all of a sudden, all they want to do is give you the best funeral they possibly can. And that can cause a lot of friction. If you want to appoint your children to be your executor, give them a gift and go down and pre-plan your funeral. Not only will it save them a lot of stress, it'll actually save you money because you're in the right frame of mind and can make the decisions today rather than your children feeling that they're cheating you in the future. I know that as a mother, it's hard to pick which of your children should be your executor. You love your children equally, and you don't want anyone to feel left out. So I get that many parents have to appoint all their children. But I can tell you from personal experience, it causes a lot of crisis in relationships. For that reason, I would encourage you to consider appointing one child and not all of your children. However, if you really can't do that, make sure these items are in your will. A little planning today can save a lot of fights in the future. My name's Stacy Maurier from Estate Connection Law Office, and if you have questions or concerns about who should be your executor, contact our office today. We're here to help.